I'm good.
Do you live and breathe the beautiful game? Dream about the biggest soccer moments?
Or maybe you just want to hear some unfiltered takes from real fans like you.
Welcome to Futbol Unfiltered, where the passion for soccer knows no boundaries.
Meet your panel, Carl Phillip, JD, Yanel, and Coach. From the world's biggest matches to those unforgettable moments that made us fall in love with and the rising stars shaping soccer's future, you'll find it all here. Join us every week for Futbol Unfiltered, the bilingual soccer podcast that speaks your language, your passion, and your love for the game. Futbol Unfiltered, where soccer's heart beats louder.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Futbol Unfiltered. I'm Carl Phillip. Tonight I have Alex. Welcome back, Alex. How you doing?
I'm good.
And then we have the newfound PSG fan, Alain Olivier. How you doing, Alain?
I'm doing great, man. How about yourself? Alex, how are you doing, man? It's been a long time.
I'm good.
Awesome.
All right. So tonight we have a great show tonight. Obviously, we had the Champions League final yesterday between PSG and Inter Milan. So also we're gonna discuss the final. We're gonna discuss a little bit about the job of Luis Enrique. Obviously, Ousmane Dembele was nominated the best player of the Champions League this year, and so we got a lot to cover. So let me start with the guy rocking the PSG shirt. Were you happy yesterday with the final?
Man, I was so happy and impressed. I think, we've been talking about Paris Saint-Germain, all of us actually. Myself, Alex, you, even JD, who's not here today, about how we felt like PSG was, right? So every week, every month, we started feeling a bit more confident about PSG. And then when I saw the game yesterday, I was so pleased and proud of those kids, man, and to see how this team came together this year, it was just amazing. So I'm excited. I'm happy for the coaching staff. I'm happy for Dembele. And I'm just gonna brag a little bit because I called it out months ago that PSG was one of the best teams in Europe. And finally today I get to walk with my head held high. Appreciate it.
That's beautiful,
Thank you.
man. That's beautiful. So Alex, 5-0. Who would have thought that the game was gonna be that one-sided? So what's your take overall of the game? What did you think?
Honestly, I think PSG dominated that match. I mean, from the start to the finish, it was just a complete domination. I mean, they came up, they scored twice in the first half, then came back and scored another 3. And I also feel like it was also Inter Milan just not playing their best game as well. And when you put PSG with the determination, the feeling that they have to win this match, they put everything they had on the field, and Inter just not putting everything in, and I feel that was the outcome for the 5-0, and that was crazy. I mean, it was just one goal after another, and Inter were not replying. Like, they were not responding to anything, and especially Lautaro Martinez, he only had about 3 touches on the ball the entire match. I mean, it was sad for Inter, but crazy for PSG.
Yeah,
That was the best part of the game, by the way.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just
That
wanted
was
to
what?
say that was the best part. Seeing Martinez being completely shut down as an Argentinian. Every time one of those guys don't do anything, I'm just excited and thrilled. This guy didn't exist at all. He was gone. He got shut down. Honestly, I don't know why he even won the World Cup at this point, right? So PSG all the way, baby. PSG all the way.
Oh boy. Hey man. Hey. Hey. It's a team sport. You cannot try to looking at one guy and say that okay. But anyway, so you guys hit it right on. So it was a complete domination of PSG. PSG started hot from the start, and the good thing about PSG
Oh yeah.
is even though they were up to nothing, they never let down. They kept playing. They kept playing like the game was still 0-0. So I believe that's why we saw that score of 5-0 is because they kept going. But when I look at the game, there were a couple things that I think were vital in the game. So DeMarco did not play a good game at all. As a matter of fact, he was responsible for the first two goals of PSG. The first goal, he was so deep because the whole team tried to play offside, and then he was so deep, and then so that's why he kept Akimi onside. And then the second goal, he got caught. He got caught and doing the transition and what's his name? Deuce shot the ball and then it was a deflection. He played a terrible game yesterday, and I don't know what Inzaghi was trying to do yesterday. I don't know the game plan, and it's so funny that Inzaghi signed a contract to go coach in Saudi Arabia, and then the next day he
Yeah.
was playing the Champions League final. So, I mean, I'm not saying that was the reason behind it, but it was kind of ironic that the coach know that that was his last game, and then still put the team did not show up at all. I think that Inter. We talked about it in the last couple episodes, a couple shows. We said that Inter was so very inconsistent. They still, I mean, they even lost La Serie A because the inconsistency, right? Because on games that they were supposed to win, they lost the game. Uh, and so I thought that, it was a matter of what team that you were going to find and and that was the worst team that Inter could have put yesterday. But kudos to PSG. PSG deserve it. They were the better team, and they showed that they were one of the best teams in the league. Uh, I mean, and then they won the treble. So with yesterday's win, they won the treble. They won the Champions League, Coupe de France, and not League One. So congratulations to PSG. So speaking of that, so when you're looking at the job that Luis Enrique did, I mean, especially to get the team ready to play in the Champions League final, especially having all that pressure, PSG never won uh, the Champions League until yesterday. How would you grade the job that Luis Enrique did this season?
I
So
I
let's
will.
start with you, Alex.
Oh, go ahead, Alex. You said me or
What?
Alex? Sorry.
No, you go, Alex. Alex, go first.
Honestly, like on my screen,
Oh,
he's
okay,
breaking
okay.
up, so I can't hear what he's saying.
Okay, I can go first. I'll go first. Yeah, we'll talk about Luis Enrique's performance. Um, Man, as PSG's
Okay.
Yeah.
manager, I
Yeah.
I I think this he has been so transformative and highly successful, from a tactical standpoint and also from a cultural standpoint. It's like the missing ingredient that the team needed. He was able to really change the culture of that group. When you Something that really amazed me with PSG was the fact that he knew what he had. He focused a lot on younger talent. When we saw Neymar leave, Messi leave, Mbappe leave, he did not let that destroy the team spirit. He was able to capitalize on young, hungry talent, change the culture, create systems, and then coach, you can talk about that more often about it more in details. But what I saw for him, he's been an amazing coach. I think if there's a coach that should get coach of the year, I think it should be Luis Enrique for the work that he has done on that team, and also letting those young players believing in themselves and building that self confidence. So I think for me, I was very impressed since the beginning. I saw a glimpse of success, but winning, you know, the French C1 tournament by a lot of points, by the way, and seeing his performance this year, he's been amazing. Very proud of him.
So Luis Enrique didn't get to coach Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. So he only got to coach Mbappe and Dembele last year. So, but but and then also Neymar left also last year. So he did not get to coach Neymar at PSG. But I agree with you. The job that he did to make those guys believe in themselves. I mean, they went into the season with no known like celebrity, like no big names. I mean, they were like young players playing to their full potential. And the one thing I like about the job that he did yesterday was he did not let the game get too big. I mean, he prepared the team that the game did not get too big for those guys. The stage did not get too big for them. Even though the pressure was kind of on PSG, it was their cup to lose, but they did not let the stage get too big for them. So kudos to the coach. Sometimes the one thing about sports, right? When a team plays well, they always give all the credit to the players, but
Yeah.
when the team lose, it's always the coach's fault. But this is yesterday as a coach myself. Yesterday was a testament of how important to have a good coach to lead a team to success. And I think Luis Enrique showed that yesterday. And also, what's his name too? Lionel Scaloni. He's done it also with Argentina. So that's the importance of having a good coach, a great mind to put the team and prepare the team. So
Well,
kudos kudos to Luis Enrique. Also, Luis Enrique is is the second coach that took two teams and won the treble. And guess who did it? Guess who else did it? When I asked you, Alex, guess who else did it outside of Luis Enrique? So Luis Enrique won the treble with Barcelona in 2015, and then now he won the treble with PSG in 2025. So what other coach did that?
Uh,
Alex, no trivia question.
I want to say Carlo Ancelotti.
Mhm.
Think. Wait,
You want to give
wait.
it a
Ask the
try,
question
Alex?
again.
Alan,
Wait,
you want to give it a try?
wait,
he wa-
So
wait,
was the other coach
wait.
was the other coach that also did the treble with two different teams. The two different teams won the treble with two different teams. I'm gonna give you a hint. He also
Pep
coached Barcelona.
Guardiola.
Yeah, Pep Guardiola. Here you go. I was gonna give him a hint. He
Oh yeah,
also
Barca.
so hey, you know what's the
Yeah.
common denominator here? Barcelona. Barcelona is a common denominator, right? So Pep Guardiola won with Barcelona in 2008, and then he won with Man City. Also, both of them won the treble. So maybe Alex wasn't born yet when Guardiola won the first one.
He wasn't born yet. He wasn't
Yeah,
born.
that's probably why he don't remember.
Um,
But so what do you think of Luis Enrique's job, Alex?
What did you say?
So what did you think of Luis Enrique's job?
Well, I mean, I he wasn't given the recognition that he deserved. I mean, since last season, he came in, he won the league with PSG, he got PSG to the semifinals of the Champions League, and he just came in for the first season, and it was amazing, but people weren't really recognizing the work that he did with PSG. And when he did that as his first season, it showed to the PSG fans that next season will be better, because if you can do that on your first season of coming into a team, then you can probably do that the next following seasons. I mean, he was crazy. It was amazing that he did that with PSG,
But
and that's why he's one of the best coaches, well, of right now. But I mean, it's nice to see that, and especially with the work he did with Barcelona as well.
so Alex, so I mean I
Yeah,
could see why you didn't get the recognition because uh, what he did, winning the League One, every other coach did it.
yeah,
PSG's been winning that League
yeah,
One for so long. So I think,
yeah,
yeah, those guys say, yeah, he won the League One, but they didn't do anything in the Champions League last year. So I think the way they look at it, they'd be like, okay, let's see what you do, right? So the good news is the fact that, we talk about this, right? When it comes to soccer, when it comes to a project. So we're looking at the PSV project. It's all about time. You have to be patient, right? So they did not panic last year
mhm,
when they had this, this terrible year. I mean, they still won the League One, but they didn't do anything in the Champions League because they brought Luis Enrique to win the Champions League. That's what PSG wanted, to win the Champions League, right? That's why they have. That's why they had the Neymar project. That's why they brought Messi. That's why they had. That's why they had Mbappe. That's why they brought Hakimi. So they brought all these players because they wanted to win the Champions League. So when you look at it from a PSG fan standpoint, everybody else won that league won on their first season as a coach. So you didn't do anything that we haven't seen before. So I think now by winning the Champions League, now they're taking him seriously and the fashion, the way he won it. I mean, yesterday was the
yeah,
highest score yesterday in the Champions League final period. I mean, nobody ever beat a team 5-0 in the Champions League final. So what I'm saying is to win in that fashion, to put the youngsters right like that on the map, and to win the treble on top of it. So now he's getting, the respect that he got. I mean, I think what happened with Enrique, he did really well with Barcelona, and after Barcelona, he went to he coached Spain, and they did not have great success when he was coaching at Spain. So I think people forget how good he was as a coach. So now when he went, and then also I think he went to a couple teams before he went to PSG, and then when he went to PSG, it was just like, okay, what you gonna do now? So I think doing what he did yesterday to win in that fashion. And like Alan said, that should put him for Coach of the Year. So let's
yeah,
talk about one of the players that was very instrumental to PSG season and Usman Dembele. And then I know we talked about that about him a couple times. So Usman Dembele was the player of the season for in the Champions League. So a lot of people when they see Usman Dembele, they saw the Dembele that played at Barcelona. That was at times show a lot of upside, a lot of but was not very consistent. Uh, so this year, even last year, he was playing with Mbappe. Not really a stellar season, but this year he put the team on his back and won the Champions League. So do you think Dembele is worthy to win the Ballon d'Or? Let's start with Big Al. Let's start with Al first.
150%. Definitely, I think Dembele is now number one pick for me to win the Ballon d'Or this year. I mean, he's been a leader on the field and off the field. He's been like, I think, pretty much essential to PSG winning, the UEFA Championship this weekend. Contributed about 30 goals. He really kind of owned Luis Enrique's system. He's been the one actually leading the team, managing the pace, controlling the ball, stepping up when he needs to. He has shown great discipline on the field, knowing exactly, when to press, when not to press. The interesting thing about him is how he gets everybody involved. He gets everybody involved on the team. It's like, for me, he's a combination of Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, and Zidane into one. So yes, definitely, I'm a big Dembele fan. I knew he was special. I just didn't know how. But I think the only thing that really catches me about him or amazes me, he's so humble. He's so humble. He has a sense of humility with him all the time. I don't see him being this flashy player like those other superstars like Neymar that I have issues with personally. He's just amazing, man. I just think, yeah, he should definitely win the Ballon d'Or this year.
So yeah, I agree with you, but I'm gonna put a stat here between Dembele and Rafinha that also they're looking at for the Ballon d'Or. So Dembele, Rafinha played 14 games, scored 13 goals. Dembele scored 8 goals. Rafinha got 8 assists. Dembele had 6. They have the same amount of key passes, 38 and 38, and big chances created. Rafinha had 13 against Dembele of 4, and successful dribble. Dembele had 15, and no, Rafinha had 15, and Dembele had 24. So when you're looking at the stats, the stats are very comparable, but I agree with you. I think that with PSG winning, that put him in the driver's seat to win the Ballon d'Or. But we still have a couple games to play. Especially the start of the 25 season, and let's see what and Rafinha is gonna have an opportunity to qualify Brazil for the Common Bowl that we're gonna touch base a little bit later. But we'll see. But I think that, and then you have Yamin Lamar as well too. So it's gonna be a tight race. But I agree with you. I think what what he did this year, especially against especially against Liverpool during that series, it was Dembele series. Dembele really put PSG on his back against Liverpool. That was considered one of the best teams in Europe at the time that he did it. So I think that game, that series was very instrumental to him. And then yesterday he had an okay game. Even though one of the goals he had a great assist when he get the back heel, but overall it was a great season for him. So what Alex, you got anything you want to add?
Yes, when you compare Rafinha and Dembele, I mean, during those stats, I feel Rafinha, he has a better team to work with. I feel it's just the combination of his team that works with him. But
Nah,
I feel
come on,
Dembele
Alex.
is just like
You can say Rafinha got a better
it's
team and
just
then won.
yeah, but it was kind of an unlucky game for Barca. I don't know. I feel
Come
like
on.
they could have won that. They could have won. To be honest, I was betting on them, but it was between them and PSG. But honestly, I feel he's definitely one of the top contenders to win the Ballon d'Or. He has shown his talent. Before it's the improvement that he's made from being a nobody at Barcelona and then coming to PSG, all the fans hating him, and then having a great season, his first season, and then having a better second season. I mean, his improvement has been fantastic. I mean, he's been playing so well for PSG. He's one of the key players for PSG, and one of the key players to PSG's success. I mean, he's definitely a top contender as long with Rafinha and Lamine Yamal. I mean, I feel they may not win it as much as Dembele because I mean he won the Champions League. So I feel Dembele most likely will win the Champions League this year.
You mean the Ballon d'Or? You mean the Ballon d'Or?
Oh, my bad. I meant the Ballon d'Or. My bad.
No, you're good. Yeah.
I mean,
We
he
got
did win the Champions League.
we got you, Alex. We got you. So I know you guys talk about I know you guys talk about the youngsters, right? So obviously we
Yeah.
saw a great show yesterday. We do say we the player of the game. He was the man of the match, and then also we saw what Yamin Lamar did this year as well too. So is the Champions League is becoming the league of the youngsters? So let me start with the young guy right now and Alex. Is the Champions League is the league of the youngsters?
Yes, I mean it's the league where most youngsters they get their talent shown. I mean, because since the academy level, they go into the senior team, and that's when they show their greatness. I mean, right now they've been it's been crazy with Florian Wirtz, Lamine Yamal, all these good players, and I feel they've been the majority that people really want to watch. I mean, the older guys are still they're still fun to watch, but I mean they're getting older, so the youngsters are definitely the the heart of European football right now.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you, man. And it's so funny that I mean, youngsters can be 20, 21, 22-year old guys. Right? We're talking about guys that under 20 years old are killing it. I mean, we got the 19-year-old yesterday. We have a couple of 17s and Yama and Kubasi. I mean, we talk about young guys. That those guys can't even, those guys can't even drink here in the States. They're not even 21 yet. I mean, those guys are the ones just killing it. So, and
Yeah.
so, Alec, let me ask you that question. Is the league hands, especially when we have these youngsters, I mean, playing to that level? Is soccer in good hands?
Yes, yes, I think it's in great hands because what I'm seeing, what I saw this year is like those kids are playing fearlessly. They play with a high level of confidence and they're not afraid. And this starts with Lamine Yamal, right? You know how much I like this player. When you see him play with all those men, the kid is playing like
Yeah.
he doesn't even care how old is he. That doesn't matter to him. It's just him, the ball, and the goal. And yesterday, when we were watching PSG playing and we saw those kids scoring, those guys were not afraid. They were getting the ball and shooting, you know, instantaneously. They were not even waiting, hesitating. So I think soccer is in great hands. I think what we're seeing here, the audience, and I'm so excited for the States, right? Because all this is in preparation for the World Cup coming next year. So you're having a lot of younger kids watching their peers performing at the highest level. So you're gonna have kids like Alex, who's in soccer already, right? His friends. They're talking about Lamine Yamal. They're talking about Mayulu yesterday, who scored that last goal, the fifth goal for PSG. What a goal, man. The guy gets a ball and then doesn't even hesitate and just strike the ball and go straight in. That was amazing. So to answer your question, coach, soccer is in great hands. I just can't wait to see how the club World Cup is gonna be this summer, and I can't wait for the World Cup next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you guys. As a soccer fan, I'm happy. I'm happy to see those youngsters, doing what they're doing, right? Because usually, what you've seen in the past is you see those potential, right? You see potential. You say like, man, this kid can be great, right? So man, let's give him like a couple years. Even the likes of Messi and Ronaldo, when they started, they did not take the league on fire. You saw the potential, right? It's when they hit the 20, 21, 22, and then they took the game to the next level. But to see those 17, those 19, those 18-year-old guys playing in that manner, what I'm saying, that fashion, and then not just playing great, they dominated. Right? I mean they dominating. I mean this kid was so composed yesterday in the game when he scored that goal. Very composed, and in a big game like that with a big stage, you play in the Champions League final. You're 19 years old, and then you get the ball like that and so composed and put the ball away, and then score twice and did not hesitate. So for me, like I said, this is good for soccer. This is good for the future. It's good for kids like Alex who's watching it to see that man, that guy is only 3 or 4 years old, older than me, and then they're playing, and that great. So that tells you that Alex, you need to keep grinding, man. You
Yeah.
gotta keep
Step
grinding.
it up, Alex.
So one thing too. So this year, this past season, the Champions League came with a new format. So it was a way to get more teams. They went away from the group level, so people were not playing home and away games. So you have so many games at home and so many games away, and then you have different pools, and then if you finish in the top, I think top five, and then you automatically qualify. And then after that, people got to get to some type of playoffs to go to the playoffs. So, do you think that this new format had a really impact on how the league ended up? So, let me start with you, Alex.
Yes. I mean, to be honest, it's way funner to watch because the last format, you see the same team play against the same teams and they're just rematching and rematching. And it was like watching a first and second leg, but over a time span. But I think this new format, at first I was a bit skeptical about it, but now I've grown to like it a little bit more since it's way more entertaining and way more. It makes more sense. I mean, it's just it may be a little bit more complicated than the original format, but it's a pretty good one. I mean, I don't even know who thought of that. It's pretty good though. But right now I feel it's a little bit nicer to see a knockout because when you have a knockout, it's like I don't know, it gives you more leverage between the knockout, like the knockout rounds, like the round of 16, quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finals, and it it gives you kind of it's like saying if you were lucky to make it through, then you still have to find out and find a way to still make it. Like just when you think you made it and you're gonna play in the knockouts, no, you have one more, two more games until you can actually make it, and that's what's been really keeping me on to the Champions League this year, and I hope it continues to be very well.
All right, before I give it to Alex, I think the new impact X2 format had zero impact on that because when you think about it, it's still the same teams that went to round of 16. It's still the same teams that went to quarterfinal. There was no surprises. It's always the top teams. So for me, I think the Champions League got richer. That's the only thing that did. The impact is on the pocket. The pocket got thicker. But when you think about from a football standpoint, there was no impact. I mean, it's still the quarterfinal was Inter. I mean, the semifinal was Inter, Barcelona, uh, PSG, and Arsenal, right? So top teams. I mean, you didn't see any teams with no names got knocked out those victims. So I feel like it had no impact on how the things ended. I mean,
Yeah.
they could have done it the same way, and you would see you still would have the same type of teams. So,
Yeah.
I give it to you, Alan. So, what did you think that the new format has an impact?
I think well, there's two. The real question is, to your point, yes, you have the most well financed teams that made it, obviously, because in soccer it's about money. But at the same time, what you're missing is what Alex said. He said that kept him engaged throughout the year. It made it fun for him. Keep in mind what those guys are trying to do again is they're trying to increase their audience, right? They're trying to make sure that we have more kids, more young people watching the game around the world. So, and to your point, yeah, coach, you're totally on point. Yes, they made more money. There's more games being transmitted. They're being broadcasted all over the place. From a financial standpoint, yes, definitely they made a lot of profits. I guarantee you that. But I like the fact that there were more games. And one thing that I realized when you guys were talking about the qualification, it reminded me of the NBA play-in tournament that they extended now the rankings from number 9 and 10 in each conference. So you get a little, knockout tournament to make it to the playoffs. So that kind of makes it a bit more fun, right? It's just one more week of basketball to give at least the number 10 seed to make it. And this year we saw a team like the Timberwolves. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. I think they did, or the Warriors. The Warriors still made it to the semifinals, and they were a play-in team tournament. So this year, probably you didn't see a difference. Maybe the same teams made it, but if they keep it going next year, you never know. You could actually be surprised. There could be some teams with some young players because now we just said there's a lot of young talent now playing soccer. You never know. Maybe next year, maybe in a couple of years, it might become a bit more competitive. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm excited about it for next year.
I don't, when it comes to soccer, right? When it comes to soccer or football, the way we call it, right? Worldwide, I don't think the new format turned some how we call that. I don't think the new format the casual fans into real soccer fans. So, and that's what I meant by impact. I think that for me, a great impact is, when you expand the team, when you expand the tournament, you give it more team opportunities to play with the big dogs, and then you saw a lot of Cinderella stories. So that's what I meant. So for me, is they wanted to have. I think it was a great idea because there's a lot of teams. For instance, there's a lot of teams that who would never play FC Barcelona because they were not part of the group, right? But I think the way they had it this year, they have more teams the opportunity to host, a big club. So that's where I think that the impact was positive, right? Give teams opportunity to host big clubs because as a fan, man, I probably was rooting for my team for a long time. I mean, I would never have a team like Barcelona visit my home if it wasn't in a playoff. Now I got to see it in the first round per se. So I think from that perspective, that was a good impact. But I think from a soccer standpoint, from a football standpoint, I mean, it just the same teams always win, right? It's the same team with the deep bench, with the best players. They're the one that end up making it. So that's what I meant by that format did not really create any chaos. It was just like you see more games, and then some teams have more opportunity to host, some big clubs in Europe. So, in that perspective, that was positive. So anyway, uh, so let's talk about a guy that also play in the Champions League. So on memory lane today, we're gonna we said that we're gonna find a player that Alex can recognize, so we don't have Alex to have to think about different players, but we're gonna show somebody in a memory lane. else? So Alex, you recognize that player?
Wait,
Huh?
wait.
He played for your team, Real
Yes,
Madrid. He retired
yes,
last
the
year.
legend himself.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. So Alex, so like I said, I
Yes,
have to play somebody that you can. You just you don't have to play live, right? So Tony Cruz,
yeah.
retired last year. And then if you guys watch the last game of Real Madrid, he was actually at the last home game of Real Madrid with Modric, because that was Modric last game at Real Madrid. So what's your fond memory of Tony Cruz, Alex?
To be honest, I don't know. I didn't become a Real Madrid fan until like a little bit ago. About I forgot what season, but I know that he was probably the best passer Real Madrid has ever had. But I mean the accuracy, the pinpoint accuracy. It was so intriguing to watch him play. And it wasn't just long balls, it was short balls, and he can also shoot as well. And it was just so mesmerizing to watch him play. Like his balls just like the balls that he shot up in the air just glistened through the air, flew like an airplane, and just like it was. He has one of the best passes I've ever seen, to be honest. I mean, other than him, I'd say Lamine Yamal, but I mean, they were one of the best passes. I mean, it's just he was one of the best. You can't get someone, and he was the definition of a centerman. He was the definition of a midfielder. I mean, he can defend if he needed to. He can recover the ball, and then he starts a quick counterattack to the forwards, and he was just so good. And especially when he has good players on the offensive side who can quickly recover the ball and score. I mean, that's why he also had one of the most assists in Real Madrid history. I mean, he was just so good, and I feel we won't be able to replace him. I mean, we should have done that last season instead of buying Mbappe. But I mean, yeah, we can't really replace him. He's one of the best.
Yeah, I agree with you. You can tell that Real Madrid really missed him this year. So, out
Yeah,
of all the players, under the critical position that Real Madrid did not address outside of the central defenders, uh, they did not have any answer for replacing Toni Kroos, because obviously he was he was the one leading the pack last year, and Real Madrid won the Champions League last year. So yeah, Toni Kroos, he was a great player for as a Barcelona fan. As a Barcelona fan, I didn't, I hate playing against him, but because he was so good. I mean, and the thing with Tony Cruz is the job he was doing both offensively. A lot of times people want to focus on the offensive part of it, but what he was doing defensively, also I mean, was admirable what he was doing defensively as well. So, Tony Cruz is the kind of guy that he's always like a thorn on my side, right? Whether he played for Real Madrid or playing for Germany, because he was also made me cry in 2014 when they beat Argentina in the final, the World Cup final. But at the same time, even though they played for the rival or for the other team, but you still, as a soccer fan, as a football fan, I still respected him, and I think the game missed him. It was a shame that he had to retire, you know, that soon. I mean, I wish that he could have still playing, but at the same time, he gave us a lot of years, and yeah, he was a good player. So, Alan, what's your memory of Tony Cruz?
Well, you brought the nightmare of 2014. So, 2 goals in 6 minutes. Remember that great semifinal that Germany gave to Brazil, like a 7-1 beat down. That's the nightmare of all Brazilian fans that we never want to talk about it. I think Tony Cruz was part of it, and he managed to go ahead and thank God beat Argentina. It's so funny when they beat Brazil and then you're rooting for them to beat Argentina, because what's worse, Argentina winning the World Cup on your own soil and have to deal with you for the rest of my life? No, no. So that was it was like a silver lining. You know what? Yeah, okay, go ahead. I feel bad for a night, but you're gonna go and beat those guys on Sunday, and they did. But five UEFA Champions Leagues with Real Madrid, and then I think he won one with Bayern de Munich, but he was injured. I think so. 6 total titles. He had a very impressive career, Tony Cruz. Amazing player. His nickname was the Sniper because of the way he's always aiming the ball and passing the ball. It seems to be on point. Kind of remind me of Zidane a little bit, right? Zidane is a unique player. He's on a league of his own, but maybe it's as the German version of Zidane, I will say, for Germany. But amazing player, sharp. I still don't know why he retired, Coach. Maybe you could tell us why. He looks like he could still play. He's
Oh yeah.
young, so I don't understand why he retired so early. So that was my only
Uh,
thing,
you
only
know, I
question.
mean, no, I don't know. I think only Tony Cruz can answer the question. I have no idea why he resigned. Sometimes I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I can tell that some guys, especially when you play in that level, if you feel like you cannot perform the way you're supposed to be performing, and then you be like, you know what, it's time for me to walk away. So try to walk away while you're on top instead of people saying that, man, you need to retire, right? So, and I think Tony Cruz. I mean, you see it a lot with Germans. They know when to walk away from the game because obviously those guys are very responsible. If they're not playing for money, because they know how to manage their money, they do really well when that perspective. But I think it's one of those that it was just like, you know what, it's time for me to walk away, and let me walk away while I'm on top. But that's a question for Tony Cruz. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But
I
he was
I know why he retired.
when he retired.
He retired because he said he wanted to spend more time with his family.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's why he retired. He wanted to spend more time. That's why.
Okay.
yeah, that's why he told everybody. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you gotta know what's going on to his. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
I wish
I'm
he
a
could
vote.
come back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Real Madrid needs him desperately because they're gonna
Oh
be
yeah.
horrible next year if they don't change their act.
right.
Yeah, and especially we're losing Modric, so I mean, we gotta get
I
better
like how
midfielders.
the fans talk about we. We're losing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
we we
we
lost
losing
Modric,
Brooklyn.
so
Yeah. But anyway,
yeah,
couple things,
we need more
couple things
defenders.
we got going on, man. We got the Commonwealth qualifiers coming up. I know Alan's gonna be happy because Carlo Ancelotti, that's gonna be his first time at the helm for Brazil. So we'll see what's gonna happen.
I
Obviously,
don't,
he didn't call Neymar because Neymar is still not back, but he called everybody, Rafinha, and they're playing this week. Think about it. Those guys like Marquinhos play in the Champions League final, and then probably they're probably gonna have a parade either. I don't know if they have the parade already, but if not, they're probably gonna have the parade sometimes, maybe tomorrow, and then gotta fly to Brazil for the game. More than likely, he probably won't play the first game, but yeah. So Thursday they have the first game, and then they play Thursday and Tuesday. So so let's see what's gonna happen. So I know Ale is really happy to see Ancelotti at the helm for Brazil.
I am.
I
That's like
don't know.
my two. It's Real Madrid and Brazil. That's a double for me. I mean,
I
I'm
don't know,
really
man. I
excited about that
I
one.
I think I want Luis Enrique now. I don't know if I want
Oh
Ancelotti.
boy! Oh no!
I think I want Luis
All right,
Enrique.
you're a Lewis.
Yeah, yeah.
You're a Luis Enrique Glazer right now.
Let me tell you. Let me tell
You're
you the
glazing him.
problem. The problem with Brazil,
No,
it's a personality thing. Like if this guy calls Neymar back, I give him a lot of credit. It's when we first started talking about Neymar like months ago. We were very optimistic about him getting back in shape, being disciplined, getting ready for the World Cup, right? He hasn't shown
yeah.
any progress. He is still facing the same challenges, the same issues. So, what I need to know, do we have a post Neymar game plan? That's my first question to the coach. I don't mind. I'm excited that Ancelotti is gonna be the coach. Great, but is he gonna build a team around Neymar, or is he gonna build a team for the future with young talent and post the Neymar era? Because if we're gonna build a team around Neymar again, I can guarantee you we're not gonna make it for if we make it to the World Cup.
What if he
I don't think that's Ancelotti.
what if he gets the young players and builds the young players around Neymar? So like both at the same time.
I don't. I think your connection is not good, Alex. We can't hear your question well.
So what if he gets the young players and he revolves them around Neymar?
I don't think Neymar is in a good mental, physical shape to be a leader right now for the Brazilian squad. I don't think he
I think he
is.
is.
I don't think he's there anymore. I think Neymar needs to retire.
Oh no.
Here you go. I
No, he
said it.
doesn't. No,
I
no, no,
said
no,
it.
no, no,
I
no.
said it.
Put those words back into your mouth.
The same
No,
way I talked
no,
about
no.
PSG, months
Mm-mm.
ago. I think the best thing for Brazil is to stop playing the post Neymar era. If we can
No.
do it now, today's June 1st, 2025. If they're serious about winning the World Cup next year, they need to stop playing a post Neymar era. This guy
Nope.
is done. He needs to retire.
Neymar's the GOAT, and he will always be the GOAT.
Good of what? What has he
The
won?
GOAT.
He's a
He's
club
won.
soccer. He's like the Messis of all time. The only reason why I cannot make fun of Messi anymore is because Messi won the World Cup, and I have to swallow my pride. But
You know what?
Neymar is the next Messi.
Neymar is gonna win the World Cup. All right, that's my World Cup predictions. All right, it's gonna be Neymar versus Mbappe. Yeah, yeah,
All right then.
yeah. He's winning the World
Okay.
Cup.
All right.
That's why
all
your
right.
Mark
internet
my
connection
words.
is not working. That's why we cannot hear you because your connection is not working. You're not making any sense, sir. So yeah, whatever.
Yeah, this is what Football Unfiltered is great, man. It's no gimmicks. We just talk real soccer. That's funny. So my opinion, I don't think Ancelotti gonna. I think Brazil is not a Brazil doesn't have a name or problem. I think Brazil has a personnel issue. I think right now the players are not that great, and then they all, especially when you're looking at the defense and the midfield, they don't have good defenders and good midfielders. So I think that's one of the problems with Brazil. It's a personnel issue. But what Ancelotti gonna do is, I think he's gonna build a team based on what he thinks gonna. Because Ancelotti is the most decorated uh, coach. Is the most I think what Ancelotti is gonna do is he's gonna try to instill some confidence into Brazil and say, "Hey, you guys are Brazil. You guys need to stop playing like that." And then what's gonna happen is having a healthy Neymar would be a plus. But I don't think he's gonna build the team around Neymar.
No,
I don't
he's
think that's
not.
what.
But
No, I mean, if you got a healthy Neymar and Neymar is back to his old self, I think that that's gonna be a plus for Brazil. But I think what he's gonna do is he's gonna try to instill the myth and the confidence into Brazil to make him play like Brazil, the old days of Brazil. Say, hey, you guys are Brazil, you guys gotta play like such, right? And then now and try to incorporate those guys. Because obviously he coached Rodrigo, he coached Vinicius Jr. So he probably gonna get those guys playing to the maximum level they can play. And then once he gets the team the way he wants it, now if he gets Neymar healthy, I think there's gonna be an addition. But I don't think he's gonna make the team around Neymar. I don't think that's gonna be the case. But anyway, one thing that we gotta talk about before we leave. So obviously we gotta give the women some love. So the UEFA Women's Euro is this year. So we got some big game coming up. So we got Spain playing Portugal on July 3rd. We got France against England July 5th. Italy versus Spain July 11th. So Sweden versus Germany July 12th. So so who you guys think gonna win it?
I normally vote for France and everything. So except for what I just said, but I'm going for France. Yeah,
What you say? Your
Spain.
connection?
I think
What you say?
Spain.
Spain? Yeah. What do you think, Ale?
France or Spain.
What do you think, Ale?
I think for
France
me,
or Spain.
I think Spain has a better chance of
Yeah.
winning all, and maybe France, but I will go with Spain first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they're gonna do. Is they're gonna repeat the same thing the men's did, right? Win the World Cup and win the European Championship. So let's see if they can do that because the men did it and they won the World Cup in 2010 and then they won the European Championship in 2012. So we'll see if they're gonna do that. So yeah, I think Spain is the team to beat, and England is still also strong. They have a strong team. England and France. The thing with France, I don't know. They look good at first, but when it comes down to the final game, they always find a way to lose the game. But we'll see. But anyway, it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna be watching. We're gonna be watching them. I'm gonna be watching it, so I can wait to see. I can wait to watch it. So we gotta give the women some love as well too. So, and I know that the FIFA World Cup is kicking up in 2 weeks on June 14th. So also that's something to be watching. And also we got the Gold Cup coming up as well too. But anyway, that's it for tonight. So thank you guys. It was fun. Alex over here talking about Neymar being the GOAT. So we'll see what's
He's the
gonna
GOAT.
happen. So it will be interesting. So next week when we talk, we'll have the first game of Brazil playing for Ancelotti. So maybe we have more to talk about, and hopefully I can be in better mood talking about Brazil. So anyway, it's been fun, guys. So you guys have a good week. I'll see you guys next time.
Do you live and breathe the beautiful game? Dream about the biggest soccer moments?
Or maybe you just want to hear some unfiltered takes from real fans like you.
Welcome to Futbol Unfiltered, where the passion for soccer knows no boundaries.
Meet your panel, Carl Phillip, JD, Yanel, and Coach. From the world's biggest matches to those unforgettable moments that made us fall in love with and the rising stars shaping soccer's future, you'll find it all here. Join us every week for Futbol Unfiltered, the bilingual soccer podcast that speaks your language, your passion, and your love for the game. Futbol Unfiltered, where soccer's heart beats louder.